Welcome back to the channel, everyone, for the second crowdfunding roundup of April 2024. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I think are your best bets to back from the period between April the 10th and the 16th for campaigns that launched during that period. As always, my videos are tabbed, and you will also find links to the individual campaigns that I'm talking about in the description section below. The best way to support this channel is still to like and subscribe, and I very much appreciate it if people want to go ahead and do that. Now, I've got 5 different campaigns that I wanted to share with you today. 3 of these are on Gamefound, 2 of them are on Kickstarter, and all of these campaigns launched on April the 16th, Tuesday. The first one is Castles of Burgundy Special Edition Reprint. This is on Gamefound. This is got the most funding of anything from this week. They're currently at $1.3 million. They also have the largest multiplier because they're working off of a $20,000 funding goal. I think it was a little easier for them to have a lower funding goal this time around since this is a reprint of a previous campaign. Now, if you're thinking about getting this special edition of Castles of Burgundy, I can tell you that I actually have backed it in the past. I do own it. It is the prettiest version of Castles of Burgundy. It's a great version. It does a couple of things that previous versions didn't do. One, it has very deluxe components. And the other one is that after the first edition launched back in, well, let's look over on Board Game Geek to see. In 2011, they did several smaller mini expansions, and those were very hard to find. So they're all included in this special edition reprint. It is very expensive because it's got a lot of deluxe components, and I think part of what fueled that, or people being willing to go all in on this big special edition, is the fact that the first edition, while many people would say it's the best Stefan Feld game out there. Personally, I think I like Bonfire better, but it's hard to argue with Castles of Burgundy in general because it is such a good game. And there is so much gameplay in it. It's like chess, where a lot of the movements that you do early on will later determine what you can do later. And so every game that you play is going to be a little bit different. And I think that's part of what I could use to recommend this version, because there are people out there who have very expensive chess sets. So if you're in that kind of mindset and you're a huge fan of Castles of Burgundy, then sure, consider getting this, because you're going to have a very deluxe, very pretty game that you could presumably play, for the rest of your life. And it is the kind of game that you can just keep going back to it. I don't think most people, unless they're playing it constantly, are going to really sour too much on Castles of Burgundy. There's a lot of variability in the game. There's a lot of gameplay in the game. And I think part of what made this special edition possible is the fact that the first game, while completely functional and fine to look at, is just not that pretty a game. It looks like an old school Euro with kind of generic art that's just, it's not that pretty. There's not that much going on, but it's fine and it's functional. And if that's all you want from Castles of Burgundy, by all means, go out there, find a copy of the first edition of Castles of Burgundy. But they went and they made a second version, I think in 2019, with new art. And to me, the new art is, it's headache inducing. The colors, the graphic design style, it's very hard for me to play on that game. And I would never choose to own that game. I would never even choose to play on that game. So I think the fact that the first version was this, kind of ugly old school Euro art, but fine, had a second printing that was just so much worse, made a lot of people who were looking for a nicer version of Castles of Burgundy more ready to jump when the special edition hit from Awakened Realms a couple years ago. It finally delivered, I think, last year. Well, let's look at Board Game Geek again. Yeah, it delivered in 2023. Now, if we go back to the original game, we can see that it's got an 8.1 score. That's a very, very solid score. And if we look at the special edition, it's got a 9.2, which means that the people who backed this are really, really happy with this version. So much that score has inflated, 1 out of 10 stars in the rating system. So those are things to be aware of. People who backed this previously really do like this version. But if you back this version, you are going to be paying a pretty penny for it. I think we should probably look at the original game just to get the complexity. Here it's listed as a 2.98, and I would put that very solidly in the medium-heavy range. Although I personally wouldn't really consider Castles of Burgundy a medium-heavy game. I think we can take it as a litmus score in terms of what the majority of gamers rate it. But once you've learned the game, it's a simple game in terms of what you're doing and what the movements are. There's not even a lot in terms of iconography. But the people have spoken, and they're rating it in the medium-heavy range. So Awaken Realms, the publisher of the special edition, is better known for a lot of big storytelling narrative games. They've published ISS Vanguard, Lords of Hellas, Nemesis, the whole Nemesis line, Tainted Grail, and this War of Mine. And Stefan Feld is a designer. His top 5 rated games currently are Bonfire, Bora Bora, Bruges, Carpe Diem, and Trajan. Now, the artists behind the new special edition include Jacob Zakowski, who also worked on 2 other Awaken Realms games, Lords of Ragnarok and Nemesis Lockdown, and Patrick Jedrzejek, who's worked on The Edge Downfall, ISS Vanguard, Nemesis, Nemesis Lockdown, and Tainted Grail. So he's done a lot of work at Awaken Realms. And again, we're saying that the score over here for the special edition is a 9.2. They've rated 2.85 on this version, which is still in the medium-heavy range. I would put anything over a 2.55 in the medium-heavy range. And if you don't know Castles of Burgundy, if you've never played it before, well, first of all, let me say you can play it for free on Board Game Arena. So there's always that, ability out there as well, and that might be something you want to think about playing Castles of Burgundy that way. That'd be your cheapest way to play it for free on Board Game Arena. But if you haven't played it at all in the past, it is a tile placement and set collection game, and there are things that have to do with dice. In terms of drafting, you'll roll some dice, and then the numbers on those dice will determine the types of tiles that you can draft for that turn, for that round. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the video here, and then we'll go over the 3 different pledges and the various add-ons and the way they've made those available. But this will give you a really good look at all of these deluxe components. lot of deluxe in this package. There really is. And just to reiterate, if you're looking for the cheapest version of Castles of Burgundy, Board Game Arena, play it for free. If you're looking for the cheapest version for physical play at your home, find a used copy of first edition. I would not recommend second edition to anyone. And then if you're someone who wants a really nice deluxe copy that you know you'll be playing, you know, throughout the years or even the decades, and you want to liken this to getting like a really nice deluxe expensive chess set, then this could be the version for you. But you are going to be paying big money. And then finally, if we flip this little title card over, we can see that this campaign will run until April the 30th. So you have until the end of this month to make a pledging decision for this one. Okay, we've got 4 different pledges to look at for this campaign. The first of these is the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition. This is a $95 pledge. It's got $22 of shipping. And anytime I talk about shipping for my videos, I'm talking about the shipping for the continental United States, the lower 48. So if you are elsewhere in the country like Alaska or Hawaii, or you're elsewhere in the world, you will need to adjust shipping for your location. But in the US, the shipping for the special edition is $22, and so that's going to bring this pledge to $117. There's also Sundrop available as an option. If you want the Sundrop, it's going to be an additional $10 for the base game. So whether you want Sundrop or not in the continental US, including shipping, you're going to be looking at a total pledge price for this pledge of either $117 or $127. Now, if you want to go for the add-ons pledge, you're no longer getting the base game with this. This is a $165 pledge. It's got $22 in shipping. It's also got Sundrop available, but keep in mind the Sundrop on this is going to be for the 3D terrain pack, which has a lot of pieces. So the Sundrop upgrade on the 3D terrain pack is $50 versus $10 for just the base game. So there's going to be a $50 discrepancy on this one if you're including Sundrop. But this version is going to get you that 3D terrain pack, the upgraded tokens, acrylic tokens, the upgraded hex tiles, which are also acrylic, and the very nice neoprene playmat. And that's it. So you're not getting the base game for that. You're just getting all of the extras. And this one is a $165 pledge with $22 in shipping, and that means it's $187. But if you're getting that Sundrop for an extra $50, then you're looking at $237. From there, we go to the Splendid pledge up here. This one is also $165. There's $30 shipping on this one, so it's a little bit more expensive, but the reason for that is this one includes the base game. However, in this pledge, you are no longer getting that 3D terrain pack. So it's taking the 3D terrain pack out and it's adding the base game back in. That means if you want Sundrop on this one, it's only going to be a $10 addition. So for this pledge, we're looking at $165, $30 in shipping, that's $195 total. And then if you want Sundrop, another $10, bringing you to $205. And then the final pledge, which is this one down here, the Grand Pledge, adds that 3D terrain pack back in. Now, if you want Sundrop on this, that means you're looking at an additional $60, $10 for the base game, and $50 for the terrain pack. So at this pledge level, we're looking at $255 for the pledge, $40 in shipping, bringing the pledge price up to $295. And then if you add on the extra $60 in Sundrop, $355 total, and that's an all-in that gets you everything. But it's $355 for a really nice deluxe version of one board game that you could play on Board Game Arena for free, or you could find the first edition out there, which plays perfectly reasonably, and that's going to be probably under $50. There's going to be some mini expansions that you won't get with that, but that's going to get you most of it for a fraction of the price. Now, they do have several of these items listed as add-ons. They've got that 3D terrain pack here for $95, keeping in mind if you want the Sundrop on it, that's going to raise this $50 to $145. The upgraded hex tiles, which are acrylic, $35 as an add-on. The upgraded tokens, also acrylic, $22 as an add-on, and that neoprene playmat is $19 as an add-on. Finally, if we look over here at any of these pledges, we can see that the reprinting of the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition is planning to be delivered at the end of this year in December 2024. So that was our first campaign of the week on Gamefound. We're going to stick on Gamefound for Mindbug Battlefruits. This one is going to run until May the 4th, and they currently are funded with $250,000 off of a $21,000 funding goal. So, I mean, they're doing really well as well, but not in the millions of dollars like Castles of Burgundy. Okay. Mindbug First Contact first came out in 2022. It's sort of a dueling card game. If we want to look it up over here on Board Game Geek, we can see that it is a 2-player game. It's got a 7.7 score, which is pretty darn solid. Not quite as good as Castle of Burgundy, but pretty darn solid. And it's got a complexity of 1.95, and I say anything under a 2 is light. So this is a very simple, very light card game, dueling card game, and just not a lot of mechanics, putting the emphasis on fun. So in the new campaign here, we've got 2 new expansions, and they're standalone. So you don't actually need the base game to play these. You could order one of the 2 games and just play it by itself, or you could integrate it into the original base game. We've got Battlefruit Kingdom and Battlefruit Galaxy. And let's look at what is new over here, because this is going to tell us what each of these things does. So what is new in the Kingdom? Really, it's 2 different kinds of cards. You've got this harvest ability, removing an Octonite counter each turn. Once all are removed, you harvest your rewards. And they've got these kind of fast, can attack the same turn it's played cards. What is new in Galaxy? Well, they've got these charge cards, distribute your Octonite on any creatures. And then they've got Octonite abilities, where, once you've done that, you can use Octonite to activate powerful abilities. So that is kind of the focus of each of those 2 expansions. And then also in this campaign, there is the ability to play 2v2 in a tag team mode. So that's kind of all the new stuff that is being presented in this campaign. Now, this is published by Nerd Lab Games, who are also publishing the new Keyforge stuff. So originally, Keyforge had a different publisher. There was sabotage done to the old algorithm, so they had to recreate the old algorithm, and Nerd Lab Games is now the new publisher. But they've also published the previous Mindbug stuff. There are 4 different designers on Mindbug. The most notable is Richard Garfield, who is such a big name in gaming. I think most people know him or know his games, even if they're not aware. But he is the designer of Android Netrunner, Bunny Kingdom, King of Tokyo, Magic the Gathering, and Robo Rally. And then the other 3 designers are Scaff Elias, who's worked on Dungeons & Dragons miniatures and the Harry Potter trading card game, Marvin Hagen, who's only worked on Mindbug, and Christian Kudal, who's also worked on Heroes for Sale. And then the artist on Mindbug is Dennis Martinez, who's worked on 10-Minute Heist, The Wizard's Tower, Chocolate Factory, Divinity Derby, Imperial Settlers Roll and Write, and Isle of Trains All Aboard. So we're going to start things off here, taking a look at the video, and then we will go over the 4 pledges.
Nerd Lab Games and the creator of Magic the Gathering present the newest Mindbug experience. With no knowledge of food, the Mindbug sends a gift from Earth back to its home planet. But something went wrong. Unexpectedly, the portal's Octonite energy imbued the ordinary food with life, releasing Battlefruit creatures all over the multiverse. Octonite! players, double the fun in our new fast-paced 2v2 mode, where mind-bugging your allies' creatures is essential to victory. Be part of the Mindbug journey.
Okay, so let's take a look at this stuff, the pledges. And there's a little bit more to go over in the add-ons because there have been several campaigns for Mindbug before that include different sets. So we'll go over all that. We're going to start off things taking a look at the starter menu. This is a $38 pledge with $12 of shipping for $50 total. And this pledge will get you the 2 new standalone versions of the game here that are also expansions, Battlefruit Kingdom and Battlefruit Galaxy, as well as a Battlefruits promo pack. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can do the deluxe menu. This is a $60 pledge, also with $12 in shipping, $72 total. And this is going to throw in magnetic boxes for the 2 standalone games, life tokens, and deluxe Octonite tokens. These are the things you see here. From there, we can go to the 5-star menu. This is a $126 pledge with $17 in shipping, or $143 total. This is going to start with the deluxe menu. So it's got everything in that second pledge, that deluxe pledge. But then on top of that, it's going to throw in a bigger storage box for everything, 2 play mats, that tag team pack so you can play 4 players or 2v2, and then an additional magnetic storage box, probably for all of the extra components that you're getting for these deluxe tokens and things. And from there, the final pledge here is this all-you-can-eat, all-deluxe legacy bundle. This is going to add in some other things that come from past Kickstarters. It's a $261 pledge with $20 in shipping, $281 total. It's going to get you everything in the 5-star menu, but then it's also going to add on to that Beyond Evolution and Beyond Eternity, which were the 2023 versions of this campaign. So those were also 2 standalone expansions. It's also going to throw in the original OG game, Mindbug First Contact. It's going to throw in from that campaign the Mindbug First Contact add-on pack. You'll also be getting the 2022 promo pack, the 2023 promo pack, and the Mindbug Beyond promo pack. And then the storage box, the additional storage box, is going to look a little bit different than what you're getting in the previous pledges. In this pledge right here, the 5-star menu here, let's look at it. They've got an additional magnetic storage box that is the Mimic version. So it's kind of themed around the Mimic character. But the additional storage box that you're getting in this pledge is not themed after the Mimic character. It is a black portal design. So just be aware, it's a different magnetic box if that matters to you at all. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the add-ons. So if you want some of the things that are available through this campaign, but not everything, pledge at a lower pledge level and then add on what you want. And these are the prices for those. So here's that 2v2 tag team pack. It is $14 as an add-on. Here are the various magnetic storage boxes. These are kind of extras. You've got the Mimic design. It's an $8 add-on. The Black Portal design, it's also an $8 add-on, but you can choose which one you want. The Life Tracker bundle, these are the life trackers that are upgraded in the deluxe versions. So you won't be getting this version of them. You'll be getting upgraded versions in the higher pledge levels. But if for some reason you still wanted the lower 5 versions of the life trackers, you can add them on here for $3. There's also sleeves available through this campaign, through the add-ons, but the sleeves are not included in any of the pledge levels. So if you want sleeves, you will need to add these on. The sleeve packs individually are about $10 as an add-on, and they recommend if you're getting the starter menu, deluxe menu, 5-star menu, or all you can eat. Those are the pledges in ascending order. The number of sleeve packs you probably want are 2, 2, 3, or 6. They also have a sleeve bundle. This is 3 times the sleeve packs. This is $27, which means you probably don't want to get the sleeve bundle for the first 2 pledges because you'll be getting more sleeves than you would need. However, if you're going for that 5-star menu, 1 sleeve bundle would be the amount of sleeves that you would want. And if you're going for all you can eat, you want 6 sleeve packs, or you could do that as 2 sleeve bundles. So you'd add on 2 of these at $27 each. Looking down a little bit further, you can kind of pick and choose if you want certain items from past campaigns. So the original base game here, you can add on it for $19. The add-on pack from that campaign, $11. And the very first promo pack from 2022, $8 as an add-on. We've also got the Beyond Evolution and Beyond Eternity standalone expansions, and these come with their own magnetic boxes. So Beyond Evolution, $30 as an add-on. Beyond Eternity, $30 as an add-on. And then the Mindbug Beyond promo pack, $8 as an add-on. There's also 4 promo cards that they did as like little extras in various conventions and things. You can get those here, $2 as an add-on. There's also these foil Battlefruit Mindbugs, $5 as an add-on. There is a functional playmat bundle. So if you're doing this, you're getting both of these playmats, $38 as an add-on. The Mindbug Battlefruits promo pack, which you probably don't really need to add this on. I think it's going to be coming at all of the pledge levels, unless you're just doing, kind of adding on, mixing and matching and not getting anything else related to the new campaign. But for most things, you're already going to be getting this. But if you're not, if you want to add it on, $8. And then they've got the storage boxes from the Mindbug Beyond campaign. Very similar to up here, but if you're pledging for these add-ons, you're actually getting all of the content with it. With these add-ons, you're just getting the boxes themselves. So the only reason that you'd want to add these on is if you already have the content, because you got the content in past campaigns or maybe at retail, and now you're coming back to this thinking, well, I really want the magnetic boxes for that content as well. So you could add on either one of these magnetic boxes for $8 a piece. And then finally, the new Mindbug campaign, they're shooting to deliver this in February of 2025. Okay, from there, we're going to head over to Kickstarter for the next 2 campaigns. The first of these is Mini Rogue Season 2. They currently have over $100,000 in funding off of about a $15,000 funding goal, and this campaign is going to run until April the 30th. Now, Mini Rogue, let me show you, started as a 9-card print and play game. And then it was actually printed as a full game in 2020. So the original 9-card print and play game has a 7.2 score. It's a light game. It's a solo game. And when they kind of did the full physical version, they made it a little bit more compatible with 2 players, a little bit more complexity, but still a light game. And people seem to rate this one a little bit higher. So this is really what we're looking at, the season 2 for this version. So the original game came out in 2017. It's got a 7.5 on Board Game Geek. It's a solo dungeon crawler, and it uses mechanics like dice rolling and push your luck. Now, this is being published by Nuts Publishing, which is a French publisher. They do a lot of French translations. They don't have too many games that they've sort of designed on their end and published themselves, but they have put out Saigon 75 and This War Without an Enemy. The designers of Mini Rogue are Paul DeStefano and Gabriel Gendron, and this is their baby. This is really all that they've been working on up until this point. Gabriel Gendron also does the art for Mini Rogue, and he has also worked on Night of Man, Raid and Riposte, and War Party. So let's go over here. I would like to take a quick look at this, what is new. What's new this season? So they've got this package called The Council, and this is essentially the Season 2 package. You're going to see it labeled differently in different places. They'll talk about Season 2. They'll also talk about the Council, but it's the same thing. And kind of like with the new Mindbug expansions, they say here the Council is a standalone expansion for Mini Rogue. That means you can play it by itself. You do not need Mini Rogue's base game to play it, though it is possible to mix both together for additional fun. Also in this campaign, you're going to be able to get Mountain of Torments. This expansion can be combined with the base game and or the Council. It adds several modules which push the base game further every time. It even contains new rooms and a new final boss, the Champions Remains. You can play these modules separately or all at once. It's up to you. You're also going to be getting Forgotten Guardians. This expansion contains a druidess who can shapeshift into a powerful bear alongside a boss eager to devour you. So this is kind of a mini expansion with an additional character. Glittering Throne, another, I guess, mini expansion, contains all the bosses from this new season, as well as the reference card Rewards Criminal. So what's with this expansion? Well, the cards are all shiny. It's a nice way to pimp your game. There's also Beyond the Portal. This expansion contains all the characters from the season and from the previous season, all re-illustrated by artist Nicholas Roblin. And most importantly, there are 2 new characters in this box, the Occultist and her Soul Siphon, and the Tinkerer and his skill to disarm traps. This brings the number of characters in this box to 16. They list the pledges here, they kind of list them out, but before we get to the pledges, we're going to go back up top and watch the video for this campaign, and then we'll go over the 3 pledges and the various add-ons.
You survived extraordinary adventures through the dungeon of Mini Rogue. The legendary Og has fallen, but a new evil is rising in the shadows, gathering minions and overlords to build an unholy army. Of course, you know what that means. Mini Rogue is back. The Council, a new standalone expansion, brings new mechanics, new stories, and more cards. Now play with up to 4 players. Scrolls unlock powerful spells. Torments plague your mind with fear and anguish. Cursed jewelry consumes your soul to grant you extra powers. Play the new competitive mode where up to 3 players face off against 1 dungeon master. Or a cooperative campaign specifically designed for 2 players. Change the difficulty for even more replayability with the expansion. The darkness is rising. Will you survive? Join now and find out.
So it's kind of interesting. What started as a 9-card solo dungeon crawler expanded into a game that you could play with 2 players, and now they're expanding it into 4. But I think that speaks well on the fact that they designed a good game that they've been able to build onto and kind of expand over the years as they've gone along. So let's look at these pledges. Let's go back and get the pledges up. Here we go. On the left side of the page, and then we will look at them on the right side. So the first one here is this leather armor pledge. This is your kind of base season 2 pledge. It's going to get you that new base game, the High Council, it's standalone, as well as the Forgotten Guardians expansion. This is a $21 pledge with $11 shipping, and it's going to be $11 shipping throughout this campaign for any of the pledges. So the total for this one with shipping is $32. If you want to go a little bit deeper and pledge the Chainmail Armor pledge, you will also be getting the Mountain of Torments expansion with this pledge, as they mention over here. So this is $31 plus $11 of shipping, $42 total. And then the final pledge over here, the Plate Armor pledge. This is a $48 pledge, $11 of shipping, $59 total. And then at this level, they're also throwing in the Glittering Throne expansion and the Beyond the Portal expansion. Now, let's say you want to cobble together your pledge. They do have add-ons. I believe the add-ons are listed. Yeah, they don't actually have like a tab over here for it, but it's just after the pledges. So the Season 2 kind of main expansion, available as an add-on for $21. Mountain of Torments. This is the thing. Well, let's jump ahead. Forgotten Guardians is $6 as an add-on, and this also comes with the very first pledge, Leather Armor. So Leather Armor is coming with Forgotten Guardians and the Council. And they're going to come with every pledge, so you really shouldn't need to add these on. But if you want extra copies, then you can add them on. And, Mountain of Torments, I wouldn't think you'd need to add that on either, because if you want this one, then just pledge for Chainmail. Chainmail comes with these 3 things. But if for some reason you want extra copies or you want to do it as an add-on, you can. It's $13. Then we get into the 2 expansions that are available in the final pledge, Plate Armor. So let's say you only wanted one of these, you could just add this on to the previous pledge, Chainmail Armor. Glittering Throne is $11 as an add-on, and Beyond the Portal, also $11 as an add-on. And then they have these multi-layered mats. Now, these are not through any of the pledge levels, so if you want these, you will need to add them on. And they have it double underlined here. These multi-layered mats are for the base game only. So if you're only buying new content and you're going to play it standalone, don't bother with this. But if you have the original game and you really want these multi-layered mats, then yeah, $13 as an add-on. They've also got some previous stuff available through this campaign. They've got the Old Gods promo pack, $7. They've got promo packs that they had available different places before. So there are 3 of these, $5 per pair. If you want all 3 of these, it's going to be $15. And then they've got kind of their version of meeples, I think because they're little plastic figures, so they're calling them twin poles. If you want just twin poles for the original base game, Season 1, $8. If you want twin poles for the new expansions, $8. And if you're only pledging the new stuff, then you would only need these. But if you have everything, maybe you want both sets, maybe you want to $16 and add them both on. There is an ability to get that original 9-card micro game that I talked about. $11 as an add-on. They've also got a foldable dice tray available for $11. A custom mini rogue cloth bag for $5. The original base game as an add-on for $23. And then some expansions from the past. The Depths of Damnation expansion for $13. The Glittering Treasure expansion for $11, and then coasters with additional quests. Just kind of a fun little thing that was part of the original Season 1 campaign. $2.50 as an add-on. And that is everything. Finally, Season 2 of Mini Rogue is going to deliver, hopefully, in September 2025. Okay, from there, we are going to go over and take a look at One Hit Heroes. This is from the team behind 5 Minute Dungeon and 5 Minute Mystery, and it takes a unique stance on cooperative fighters in that the heroes only have 1 hit point. So you're going to be constructing decks and using abilities that put up things like shields and various skills that allow you to not take damage, because if you even get hit once, you are paper and you're going down. 1 hit will do you. So you need to kind of balance your skills and work together so that nobody ever takes damage before you take down the boss. One Hit Heroes, pretty well funded as well, $105,000 off of a $22,000-ish funding goal, and this campaign is going to run until May the 16th, so you've got some time on this one. It's being published by Wiggles 3D, who've put out 5 Minute Dungeon and 5 Minute Mystery. The designers here are AC Atienza. He worked on the Golden Ticket game and a game called Actually, and then Connor Reed, who's worked on 5 Minute Dungeon, 5 Minute Marvel, which got published, by a different publisher than Wiggles 3D, and 5 Minute Mystery. And the artists here, there's 3 of them. We've got Alex Dio-chan, who worked on 5 Minute Dungeon and 5 Minute Marvel, and then Niels Vestergaard and Zachary Wissel. So this is a 2 to 4 player cooperative card brawler with heroes who have 1 hit point, and it's going to have mechanics like deck construction and hand management. So again, we're going to take a look at the video first, and then we'll come back. We'll go over the 3 pledges and 1 add-on.
Hi, I'm Connor Reed.
I'm Asia Tianza.
8 years ago, we launched our very first Kickstarter for 5 Minute Dungeon. And it's been a blast launching games on Kickstarter ever since.
Just like 5 Minute Dungeon, this game was built around working together to overcome a very specific challenge. I'm happy to say that after more than 3 years of development, our biggest game yet is finally ready.
One-hit heroes. In this co-op game, every episode transports you to a different setting, each with its own deadly adversaries to overcome. And while your enemies have plenty of health, your team only has 1.
Which means you'll need to take down the boss before they can land a single hit. When you're constantly on that razor's edge, you'll want to attack as fast as possible, but dealing damage makes the boss angrier, meaning they'll unleash even stronger moves.
In other words, becoming a one-hit hero won't be easy.
But if you succeed, you'll be rewarded with curated card packs filled with powerful loot. This lets you improve and specialize your hero to match your playstyle. Maybe you'll distract the boss before it can attack, or you'll get some fancy new armor, or maybe you'll just go with the biggest gun you can find. The more bosses you defeat, the more cards you get to add to your armory to deepen your pool of options each time you play an episode. But victory is never guaranteed. Not only is each boss tougher than the last, but each one has a different strategy to take you down. You won't stand a chance unless you work together. You'll need to use your hero's unique strengths to cover for each other's weaknesses.
Whether you backed our first step into crowdfunding, 5 Minute Dungeon, you're joining us from the Unactually campaign, or you're just browsing and coming across us now, we couldn't have gotten this far without you, and honestly, it's a dream to make games full-time. It's thanks to your support that we can keep this dream alive.
Thank you for backing one-hit heroes, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, so let's take a look at the pledges. The first one here is, we're going to skip by the little pledge manager tier, is the adventure tier. This is a $49 pledge with $15 of shipping, $64 total, and this is going to get you just the base game. And they describe this here for 1 to 4 players, includes 6 fully unique hero decks, 12 bosses and boss decks, 72 unlockable cards, 4 player mats with trays, and 70 custom molded damage tokens, which you could see in the video there. So that's everything that's coming in the kind of first pledge with the base game. If you want to go to the next pledge level up, that is the heroic tier. This is a $60 pledge, also $15 in shipping, $75 total. This is going to add one thing onto that previous pledge, which is called the epilogue. And that is a multi-stage boss battle that you can play at the end of an adventure. So you need to get through the adventure, and then you're going to have this huge, big, multi-stage boss battle at the end of it. And then the final pledge here is called the Ultimate Co-op Bundle. This is a $146 pledge with $25 in shipping, or $171 total. So this is going to add on an element for this game called DO66-O, which reads as Doggo. Okay? That is... It involves like a mechanical dog, and it allows you to play in different game modes like solo mode, beginner mode, and power boost modes. It's also available as an add-on, so if you don't want to pledge at this ultimate co-op bundle level, you can just get it and add it on to a previous pledge level. Also with this pledge level, you're going to be getting kind of everything they've put out before, at least through their publishing entity. So you're going to get 5-Minute Dungeon, along with the new Baby Barbarian pack, and Curses Foiled Again. Those are 2 expansions for 5-Minute Dungeon. You'll also be getting 5-Minute Mystery, and then an expansion pack for that game called New Mastermind Upgrade Pack. So if you don't want those games and their add-ons, and all you want is the Doggo pack, then you want to go over to the add-ons. I'm not sure if they list it here. Let's see. Here are their pledge levels that they're outlining. What's inside the game. That's kind of that epilogue. Here's that solo mode and Doggo pack. Right? See, DO66-0, so Doggo allows you to play solo, beginner, or power boost mode. Okay, and they do say here that it's available as an add-on for $10. And if you were to go over here and click on details, you would see that whatever pledge level you're pledging at, here they're listing everything that's like in this. Like 8 items are included in the co-op bundle, right? All of this stuff. But you can also add on that Doggo pack. Well, it's $11, so it's $1 more than they've actually, set on their page. But it's available for an add-on for any of the pledge levels. So you can get this. You don't have to pledge the highest pledge level just to get that. And then finally, One Hit Heroes. They're planning to ship this out in March of 2025. Now that brings us to our final campaign for the video, and we are going back to Gamefound for this one. It's for a game called Snowcrest. Not quite as well funded as the others, but they have passed their funding goal of $4,800. They're currently at $7,300. I don't know if one of the reasons it's not that well funded is because they don't have a video up top. I always like to have a video up top because then I can share it with you and we can look together and see what the gameplay and the components looks like. I'm not really in the habit of showing videos from individual content creators that are embedded further down in the page because you can get into trouble with copyright issues doing that. So unfortunately, there's no video to show you for this campaign, but if you do want to see some videos, I would encourage you to explore a little bit further. If you scroll down far enough, I'm trying to show them. Here we go. So there's one from Meeple University. There's one from Nerds West. That's a channel I'm not familiar with. And then there's a video from Covray. So 3 different videos for you to explore on your own. But I like the art a lot. This is a fantasy-themed card game with hand management and multi-use cards. It's designed by Philip DeBerry, who is the designer of Black Orchestra, Revolution, and Spirits of the Rice Paddy. The art here is by Carrie Atkin, who's worked on the Boomerang series, Hibachi, and Tichu, and it's being published by Grail Games. They've published Medici, Stevenson's Rocket, and Yellow and Yangtze. So since there's no video, we're just going to go right ahead and take a look at the pledges. There's 2 pledges. It's a fairly simple campaign here. You've got the Villager pledge for $24 with $14 in shipping, about $38 total, and this pledge will include the core box and the stretch goals. If you want to get everything that's available, you want the Scholar pledge. This is a $37 pledge, also with $14 in shipping, or $51 total. And this adds on to the Villager pledge, the Frost mini expansion, and the Wooden token upgrade pack. You can also do them as add-ons if you'd only want one of them. So the Frost mini expansion is $3 as an add-on. The Wooden token upgrade pack is $11 as an add-on. And the increase from Village to Scholar is in keeping with the price points on both of these expansions as add-ons. So you're not really saving any money to do them as add-ons or to do them as a pledge. It's going to be the same thing. They also have an add-on here called Bottle Imp. And this is for a completely different game. So there's a game that existed previously called The Bottle Imp. It was published in 1995 designed by Gunter Cornett, who also designed Hey, That's My Fish and Kahuna. The original game had a 6.7 rating, which is, okay, not that great. And it's a complexity of 1.87, so it's a very light game. It's sort of a small box trick-taking game. And so they've done a new version of this. It's got new art from Maxime Morin, who's done art for Codex Naturalis, Far Away, Next Station London, and Next Station Tokyo. So this is just a little extra standalone trick-taking game. If you want to add on this new version of this game, which is called Bottle Imp instead of The Bottle Imp, that was the name of the original, it's just $9 to add this on. But it is its own thing. It's not really related to Snowcrest. And then finally, Snowcrest, they're planning on delivering this in February of 2025. So that wraps the video for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm trying to always show you the best of what's out there, and I tend to concentrate on heavy Euros and dungeon crawlers and story-based games that are thematic. But there haven't been as many of those games lately. And so I've been filling some of that space with some lighter games that I think are also very much worth your time if you're into games on the lower end of the complexity spectrum. And I'm also always trying to showcase things from smaller designers, up-and-coming designers, and not necessarily just the big companies like CMON. So I think there's been some interesting titles in this video this week, and I hope I either reminded you of something that you were thinking of backing or brought your attention to something that you weren't aware of. Again, if you'd like to help the channel out by liking and subscribing, I would very much appreciate it. I put out one of these videos a week. Last week's video was very late because of a number of things, including some health problems that my wife's been going through that I've had to help with, doing taxes, and then some issues with the website that had to be resolved. So this video is following on the heels of the last one, just a couple days later. You've got 2 videos now in a small amount of time, but normally these videos will be coming out on Friday or Saturday of any given week. And then later this year, in a few months, I'm still working behind the scenes. I do plan to relaunch my teach and review videos, and I plan to start live streaming games as well, including some big campaign games. So if those are things that interest you, subscription helps. Subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be notified when these videos come out once a week, and you'll also be looped in when I launch the additional types of content later in this year. But thank you very much for watching. I very much appreciate it. And until next week, take care, play lots of great games, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.